has a special gift or talent to offer the world. We just have to learn how to work together to apply it. On today's Girls, we're going to learn about this book, The Magic in a Mermaid's Tear, and how it affects your life here on today's show, right?
I read this book, and it's an easy read. I think just about everybody, even you could read it, Janine.
Oh, thanks.
But anyhow, there's a lot of great messages in that book, and I can't wait until we get to the rest of the story that goes with that book. It was inspired by a wonderful story.
It was.
So today's guest,
We have Danielle Bernstein with us today, and she is not only a mother, but she is a teacher, and she is also an author. And we thank you for coming on our show today, Danielle.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We are going to get to this book in a little bit, but today's show is focusing on, our trials and tribulations, the obstacles that we face on a daily basis, and how this book and your message can really impact people on a daily basis. So tell us about your background. Who is Danielle Bernstein?
Well, I was born in New Jersey, and many family vacations at the Jersey Shore. And what brought me to Pennsylvania is I went to college at East Stroudsburg University. I met my husband there and relocated to this area and became a teacher.
Very good. So how long have you been a teacher?
About 14 years.
Mm-hmm. And you taught special needs children for quite a while.
For 13 of those years, yes.
Okay.
I worked with children with multiple disabilities. I was in a life skills classroom and kind of taught them life skills and
learn from them. We learn a lot from them. You also have a family of two little girls.
Two little girls, Victoria and Grace, who have also taught me many lessons.
Which we'll be learning a little bit later in the book. So sea glass, okay? Sea glass is a part of the show today, and it's a part of the book, and the symbolization of sea glass we're going to learn about. But you were taking these family trips to New Jersey, so we want everyone to know what that story was all about.
Yes, as a kid, my cousins would find these gems on the beach, and I was always fascinated by them. As an adult, we took a trip to North Carolina, and my mother-in-law said, she was walking down the street and said, there's a class at the hardware store. You should take Victoria to go see how to make sea glass. So we did, and we met this wonderful lady there who inspired me just for 2 minutes. It's so funny how people you meet so quickly, and she was a breast cancer survivor and just so happy, and she just showed us how to wire sea glass.
Okay, so you don't actually make the glass. You find the glass, on the beach and in the ocean, and then you make it through using what kind of material?
Silver wire, silver jewelry wire, and little pliers.
Okay, did you make up your own patterns of how you're going to twist it around and what you do
no,
with
that's what's so great about it, because there's no right or wrong way.
And we get to learn later in the show, right? But so the sea glass became significant in your life. How?
Well, the sea takes rough pieces of glass and transform them into these gems, smoothed out, beautiful pieces of glass. So I related it to our challenges in life. I mean, our obstacles that we face are sharp pieces of glass.
And you have that on your card, and I thought that was very interesting, the saying that you have here. Do you know the saying? Or?
Yes.
Okay. The sea takes rough, jagged pieces of glass and transform them into frosted gem-like treasures. At times, we can all feel challenged, and our obstacles are like the sharp pieces of glass. And then what happens?
And then they're transformed. Like our challenges, they're smoothed out. And then lessons learned are our treasures.
And I like at the ending how you said, there is never a straight road to success. What treasure will you unlock on your next path to discovery? So there's really a great message behind the sea glass and the story that you've created, not only as a mom and as a teacher, which we're going to find out that you brought that into the classroom, but with your own daughters as well.
I guess that's why moms are so soft, because we have a lot of jagged edges that are getting at us as we go through all our trials and tribulations of raising our children, and then we get all smoothed out by the rest of the family. We're all nice and calm and smooth.
And then you're the gem.
We are the gems, aren't we?
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
So we need a lot of ocean time, right?
Oh, yes.
A lot of sea salt on us.
Well, the ocean is very soothing. And anyone who sits in a bath of water, or if you're in the ocean, whatever, it just seems to be very
I always find
soothing.
it very relaxing. Just that first breath of sea air.
So that connection that you had with the cancer survivor, it's like you meet that person and you instantly have that connection.
Yeah, just for 2 minutes. Yes, yes. And she was great. She inspired me. I thought this would be a great project to take back to the classroom. I introduced it to my life skills classroom, and we created a fundraiser where we worked on a workshop in our classroom. I taught the students how to measure wire and lots of fine motor skills, twisting the wire. And every student in that classroom had a different job. It wasn't all completed by one person. Either it was sorting the stones by size or color. Maybe
So
it
they
was
learned how to work together as well.
Work together as a team.
So someone sitting home saying, how does sea glass relate to my life? How does it relate to their life?
I guess you could connect it to the different roads you take, different challenges you take. And there's never a straight path to success. And little twists in the wire symbolize the choices you make.
And along the way, you do find those little treasures if you're looking, just like the sea glass
It's the
itself.
simple things, the little things, something, just finding it on the beach, walking along the beach.
And don't you find that you said when you met this woman, you just connected? Most times when we meet people, if we do chat for a while, there's always something we learn from each other.
Something you could take
Everybody
away.
has something to offer to each other. That's sort of like what the show is about with the girls too. We're just trying to have everybody offer whatever suggestions they have, whatever life skills they have. And with your life skills, it's going to be great for every age.
Yes.
Now you have a frame with you that we're going to talk about later in the show, but when we come back, we're actually going to learn how to make sea glass jewelry. We're going to learn about the significance of the piece that you have on today. You will not want to touch that dial when the girls come right back.
Today's episode of The Girls was taped in front of a live audience at Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Since 2008, Mia's has been the area's top destination for fabulous food, full-service bar, and all types of luncheon and dinner party needs. Call Mia's at 570-501-3410. And remember, tonight, make it Mia's.
Life's Little Treasures. Welcome back to The Girls. We're with Danielle Bernstein. She is a local author. She's also a teacher and, more importantly, a mom, right? That's the best job of all, isn't it?
You take that job everywhere.
Right. So we're talking about sea glass, and we're talking about your book later on, right, on the
We're
show.
going to talk about that book that I read.
And how it reflects on your life, our lives, and our challenges and success stories here. And we're actually going to learn how to make jewelry out of this, which you've done in the classroom, which I think is really interesting, to bring your hobbies, into the classroom. And then later on, we'll talk about how it's affected your children as well.
Well, what I found amazing is that you found this on the beach. I mean,
St.
this
Lucia.
looks like a very expensive gemstone. I used to sell jewelry, and this to me is a real gorgeous piece of stone artwork right in itself. Mother Nature's art.
Mother Nature's art.
And this one you found, this piece of sea glass you found in
St. Lucia.
St. Lucia.
So both of these are from St. Lucia. I'm going to St. Lucia.
There you go.
It's a great place.
Girls go on the road. What do you think?
So what do you need now to turn these into jewelry?
Well, you need some wire,
Okay.
just some silver wire from craft store.
Well, naturally, I'm not going to disrupt
No,
this
that
piece.
one's-
I'm going to
yes,
take
that's
one
a
of
little
these little
big.
pieces
One of
over
those
here.
little
Would you like one,
pieces.
Janine?
Surely.
There you go.
And what you're going to do is you're going to measure some wire.
Okay. How do you know how much to measure?
Now I kind of eye it up, but about that much.
So about 12 inches.
For the students, I grab the ruler for
Okay.
them. So we're incorporating some math skills.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
And you want to cut one for Janine?
Thank you.
And do you start wrapping it from the bottom, or do you just do whatever you want to do?
Well, you're going to hold it in place.
Okay.
You're going to create like a little tail.
Little tail.
I'll show you. I'll cut a piece for
Yes.
me.
Like this?
Hope you're following at home.
You kind of create a little tail.
Oh, okay.
You hold it in place, and then you just begin to wrap. And you want to secure that little tail by wrapping it around maybe 2 loops, and then you just kind of twist and turn wherever the wire takes you, wherever your journey takes you. And then you finish it off.
I ran out of journey.
I
have no more. I ran out of
And
wire.
you just keep twisting it right
Okay.
up on top.
Okay.
And you twist the top part?
You could twist the top part around,
Oh, around the tail.
around it, around the tail to secure it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, mine doesn't look as good as yours does, but I think I
It
needed a
does,
longer piece of
natural.
wire.
Then you take your little pliers
Okay.
and you're just going to grab a hold of the little wire there and you twist
Oh, look at that.
and you twist. So it's nice and tight. And this you could kind of make a little loop. You could bend and twist the wire. And you loop it around. And I always tell my students to stop at that point when they feel the rough edges. Because sometimes in life you always have to stop and ask for help.
Oh.
So then I take it and I twist it down. That part's a little hard.
All right, I'm struggling along
And when
here.
I
How are you
had-
doing, Janine? You need a tool?
Sure, unless you want me to
Tool
use my
time?
tool.
No, use your
There's
teeth.
a
I
small
paid too much
purple
for
one.
those.
All right.
You can grab
Hey,
a hold
dentist.
one of those
You twist.
wires and you twist it.
Look at that.
And it tightens it up.
Little things.
All right,
You could
mine
add
looks
beads
totally
to it.
different, which
That's
I guess they're
okay.
supposed to.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what's so hard because no two pieces are ever the same size.
Now, when
See
your
glass?
hook comes down here, what do you do with that little part?
I twist it down underneath, and I think you have. These are the pliers. I pinch them so the wire's not so sharp.
And this is the cutter.
That's the cutter.
Look at us making jewelry
Yeah.
on the girls.
So everyone at home can really go out and start searching in the water and on the beaches. And do you do anything with seashells too, or just the glass?
As far as making jewelry,
I guess you could use any type of a stone.
right? You can wire wrap a seashell. Sure.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
we
think
were
Victoria has actually tried that.
Mine's a little lopsided. We were actually in one of your classrooms. I think it was on Valentine's Day, or you were welcome back into the classroom.
Right.
Talk
We were at
about
the-
this experience with doing with the students and working with special needs children.
You were there visiting for the Valentine VFW
Right.
dance. Yes, my dad was involved with the VFW, and every year they held a dance for the students with life that were in the life skills classrooms. So I was able to visit with them again this year, so it was nice.
Yeah.
Last year was my first year in third grade,
Right.
so it was good to see them again. But when I did the project with them in the classroom, one of the jobs was also a student had was to feel the wires to see if there were any pointy edges.
Uh-huh.
And if it was, they sent it back over to smooth it out. So everybody had a different
the
job, just as we
inspection.
did, right, the inspection.
Now, there's a significance. The piece that you're wearing today, which is beautiful, by the way,
Thank you.
was actually a piece that you found, because I know some of them are store-bought that you were bringing into the classroom, but
Right.
this is actually a piece you found, and there's
Yes.
actually a very beautiful story that goes along with this piece.
Yes, just this past Easter, we were in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Now, my husband and I were married on the beach of Stone Harbor 13 years ago in June.
Lucky 13.
And it was March 28th. I was walking on the beach, and that was the anniversary of my dad's death, first year without him. And sure enough, walking along the beach, I stumbled upon this piece of sea glass, and I've never found sea glass in Stone Harbor before. And I mean, I had such a strong connection to it. The year anniversary, it's my favorite color.
And so he sent it to you.
Yeah,
Definitely,
definitely.
he did.
I believe that.
I believe it too, honey. And I see that there's a little bug on here. What is it, a dragonfly? Oh, you put that on there for a reason?
I did, the dragonfly. My sister-in-law gave me this beautiful poem when my dad passed away, and it's called The Dragonfly, and you could Google it, and it's a beautiful story, probably from retelling it. When you read it, it's very meaningful, but pretty much it's a family of water beetles, and once a year, one of the water beetles has to go up to the rock, and never comes back. And the water beetles do not know why the water beetle doesn't come back. So the water beetle said, when it's my turn to climb to the rock, I will come back and tell you what it's about. So it was his turn to climb up. And when he was up on the rock, it was just so beautiful up there. The sun was shining. It was so warm that he fell asleep. But when he fell asleep, his body transformed into the dragonfly. And he wanted to go back to his family of water beetles to tell him he was okay, but he couldn't.
So similar to how
you
our
could-
life journey is, that at the end, we don't know where our loved ones are. We just know it must be somewhere beautiful because they've
Beautiful.
never
They're
come back to
great.
tell us, so we have to wait our turn.
Exactly.
And
So your
Dad's with
dad
us tonight.
sent that.
Yes.
He definitely did send that to you. I believe it. Well, it's a beautiful story. I know a lot of us out there have inspiring stories, and we've
another
been inspired by
inspiring
that
story, right?
inspiring story that we're going to get to later on. But after we got these pieces of glass and we used the silver metal, wrapped it around, and then we just put a little chain or something on
chain.
it. But you also have something over here that you have a whole display of this glass.
Yes, my daughter drew the picture. It's magical mermaid tears, and that we sell them along with the book. Necklaces and bookmarks. So everyone that has the book will have a mermaid's tear to go along with it.
And we're getting to the book. We're getting to the book
getting
next
there.
on the girls. Remember, it's the magic in a mermaid's tear. We'll be right back here on the Girls Stay With Us.
Today's episode of The Girls was taped in front of a live audience at Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Since 2008, Mia's has been the area's top destination for fabulous food, full-service bar, and all types of luncheon and dinner party needs. Call Mia's at 570-501-3410. And remember, tonight, make it Mia's.
The Magic in a Mermaid's Tear, written by Danielle Bernstein. We're very fortunate here in the Girls to have the author, Danielle herself, right here on the show. We've been learning how the book was inspired, and we've made some jewelry already, and now we're finally getting to the book. Janine, you kept teasing everybody about
I
the book.
know, and I hope this is all the twists and turns I have in my life. Is these 3 little ones here, and we'll be a-okay.
Three
right?
little ones. Was Alyssa, your husband, and Mason?
Yeah, my 3 little gems.
Your 3
right
little
there.
gems at home. Well, Danielle, we've been sitting next to each other chatting in between on the commercial, and we found out also that you have a very inspiring mother that you didn't mention, and being a mother of a fine young girl here, I also like to mention that we mention the moms. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your mom?
Okay, my mom is Lisa Van Houten, and she just moved up here. My mom and my dad moved up here about 7 years ago from New Jersey. I brought them with me, and she now continues to work in New Jersey and comes home on the weekends.
Oh, wow, but she was a great inspiration to you
She
as
was.
a child, wasn't she?
She absolutely was. She pushed me for school, and she sat with me with my homework, and even though I might have battled her, and she had lots of patience, and
That inspired you to be a
college
teacher, I
was,
guess,
was
right?
very important. There is no going back. You have to go to college, and definitely, yes, from when I was able to work, I worked with kids. Summer camps, special needs kids, working with different camps.
So there's a lot of generations that went into this book, and why don't you tell everyone watching out there what the book is about, finally?
Well, pretty much sea glass, another name for sea glass is Mermaid's Tears. So it's pretty much Mermaid Grace, my daughter, and her dad, King of the Ocean. They create sea glass. And beach girl Victoria stumbles upon it one day and is amazed by it. And they caught each other's eyes out in the water, and they became friends. Victoria swam out to her, and they didn't know each other, but they took a risk and met somebody new, and they became best of friends, sisters. And pretty much Victoria showed it to her mother, like my life story, and turned it into jewelry, and wanted to share their work of art with all their friends and their families. And they became a family. Even though they came from different worlds, they had different challenges.
And that's really important in today's society, that you might not be the same color or the same religion or have all of the same beliefs, but you can still, be friends and learn something from one another. And it's big with the bullying in schools across the country.
Developing friendships. Yes, they were not afraid to take a risk with each other.
And we all have one thing in common. We're all human beings. And so we do have the same wants and needs, and we all want to be wanted and loved. And that's what I found so interesting in this book. It was very easy to read. I think anyone of any age, like I said before, could read it and enjoy it. And it's something to treasure. I think if you would have 3 generations probably went into the making of this book because of how your mother inspired you. And then from having this book, you inspired your daughter. What did she do then?
Well, Victoria now, she makes the jewelry herself, and Grace continues to find it on the beach.
Right, and she also made a
Grace was inspired.
Freckle the dog. You have Freckle the dog. That you're one of your daughters.
Yes, Grace,
actually
after Publish
wrote.
America sent this to me, she was so excited to open up the box, she jumped on the computer and created her own story.
Neat. Well, you know, I was really amazed with the front because your husband, he's here in the crowd.
We know him well.
Look at you, you have an 8-pack there, buddy. Nice job. She really
How
gave
come
you.
he has the crown on and not you?
He's the king.
He's the king of the castle.
But another interesting thing is, you know, we want to talk about your book and how it was published. You know, if someone's out there and, you know, they think that they have a great idea to write a book, how do they go about doing this and where is this published?
That was published by Publish America. Now, our librarian at Drums Elementary, she wrote a book and she told me about the publishing company, Leanne Brogren. She did, and she was so sweet, and she kind of led me. Yeah, she did. Just, you know, put it out there. You know, it's nervous. You're nervous putting something like that out there, and she was very inspiring. And Publish America was great to work with. They offered free graphics to go along with the story.
So
They're beautiful.
They have graphics and it's an easy read for the kiddos, and you could read them to your children as well and tell them the story and how it symbolizes, you know, what the story is about and what it symbolizes and how you became a role model.
And where can people purchase this book?
You could purchase it from Publish America, and it's also online, Barnes & Nobles and Amazon, as well as you could email me, and we sell the book with the jewelry.
Okay, we'll have all that information up on the screen there for anyone who's interested.
You're going to have a Facebook soon, and you're going
Yes.
to do some book signings coming up.
Yes, I am. I'm doing a book signing at the Whitehaven Library for their grand opening, May 25th at 10:30. I'm going to read the book aloud and show them about the jewelry.
This will be great too for anyone looking for some ideas on how to make the jewelry, or if they wanted to, you know, again, purchase the book online or through you. And so what is next for Danielle? Another book, another children's book?
Hopefully, we are going to take some more family vacations this summer.
Oh, that's a
To
great
Bonaire.
excuse. You need to write a book. Let's go to Hawaii.
St.
You need
Lucia.
to write a book.
St.
Let's go to
Lucia.
Bermuda.
Yes. My rough copy was done on Shutterfly with our pictures from Bonaire that we took a wonderful family trip there and took some beautiful photographs of the island.
So what do your daughters think of this, and as far as you being a role model for them? Obviously they're writing on their own, so they're getting some knowledge out of what mom is doing, right?
Yes, I'm very excited, and that was my goal. I wanted to be a good role model for my daughters. And for my students are very excited. One of them was asking me if he could publish a book.
Nice.
And so we looked it up online, and on the smart board we put up Publish America.
Fun. Maybe I'll write a book about the girls, and you could be a little
Absolutely.
character in it.
I think we should. We have a couple generations now that we could really
Right.
spill the beans, huh?
There you go.
Yeah, they were great to work with.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, you know, your husband's a very lucky man. We know him from when he was a very young boy, at least I do. And he and his brothers and sisters and whatever used to play around with Janine and with
Cammy and I
Sammy.
used to
They
play
were all
around.
friends. Yeah, and his mother and father are nice people as well. So I'm sure that the whole family's been very, very proud
Very
of you.
supportive. Lots of family support, lots of wonderful friends who helped me look for the sea glass.
Well, we look forward to the next book. Make sure you give us a shout out. Make sure you go out and
a little
see.
gift for you guys.
Oh, geez,
So
I
thank
love
you.
little gifts. What
Little
do you
necklace
have?
that we made at
so
home.
Good. We could wear our sea glass now and symbolize the show.
Look
Yours
at
looks so much better than
this.
ours did, right?
Oh my Lord! And look at the little gemstone up here. Isn't that beautiful?
Very pretty, very
Well,
pretty.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing all this with everyone out there. Thank you for the gifts and happy writing.
Thank
We
you.
hope there's not too many tears in your life, but more sea
Happy
glass.
tears. Tears of
Happy
happiness.
tears. Okay, we'll see you next time on The Girls.